gained back basically what I lost when I fell.
Yeah.
Cool.
Swish.
Do you want that for your med kit?
I'm making marks along the bottom as how many times I've used it. It's fine.
Okay, so Ali, you have
feels
now
better.
lost any negative effects you may have had from being at half health. Do you have any concern for this unconscious person?
I suppose I will drag her out of the water, probably by whatever least helpful appendage I can find.
Drop her on her head.
Well, that's presumably inside your helmet, so it
yeah.
might have to be an ankle
Face.
or something. Yeah, just your neck. So yeah, I will just lift Capella out of the water.
Okay, and what are you thinking?
I think we should maybe take her helmet off and just check she's breathing.
Oh, I
Alive.
suppose if you insist, fine. I will do basic medical checks on Capella.
Now again, I would not like to metagame here, but what are your thoughts about the general safety of the air?
I mean, I don't want to take her helmet off, if I can help it.
But you have a scanner.
I do have a
Could you
scanner.
use it,
That's the point.
Life.
Can I
signs.
scan? Can my scanner pick up enough detail to say,
What the air's
you know,
like.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what we were saying earlier
Yeah.
about the ship and the ship's ambient temperature generally being warmer and damper the lower down you got?
Yeah.
Or could you scan Capella and check how well she's doing?
Yes, could my scanner check for her heartbeat and breathing rate, that sort of thing?
Absolutely, and no need to take a check. You can see, and you have sailed together for a little while, even if you don't know each other massively well. So you can tell that yes, this is indeed withdrawal,
Okay.
lamp withdrawal, and you can tell that Capella has suffered a degree of physical damage
Okay.
as a result of simply the withdrawal. It does take its toll.
All right.
So, Capella, I'm going to say, sadly, you are now down to 8.
Okay.
Ooh.
This has been, you are wiped out from this. So, you have a couple of options if you did want to revive her. I mean, she was carrying an extra lamp.
But I'd have to take her helmet off to give it to her to breathe.
That is true. Or you could try and apply medical kits to try and rouse her.
I mean,
I can't carry her really. Can we?
no, but I'm thinking like my med kit is a first aid kit. It's not set up for massive withdrawal symptoms. The only thing that's really gonna get her going again is another lamp. But I don't want
Are
to take
you
her
able
helmet
to
off.
pop her on your back? I know you're quite tall.
I'm
and
quite strong. I don't know how long I'd be able to go with carrying her. Can I at least use the med kit to mitigate any serious physical injury there may be?
Yeah, no, and again, if you don't mind using one more med kit.
No, I will patch her up in the hopes that maybe she's at least conscious and could be kicked down the corridor.
Fine. Well, saying what, no need to make a check this time round. We'll just say that Capella, Nich, you can go back up by 2 points, and we can say that you are stabilised.
Okay.
So again, not feeling great, and certainly not yet back in the realms of consciousness, but yeah, you're not going to die anytime soon. Okay, so what are you thinking?
Am I conscious yet?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Still a little groggy, but...
I was checking if I can talk or not.
I'm still I'm concerned about Jason. I don't know where he is. I hope he hasn't drowned in the water. So, I mean, I'm not getting any feedback from him, which is unusual. So could I maybe look around, see what I can see about...
Okay, well, you know that it's unlike Jason to disappear. Very relieved that he's okay. I guess maybe you look around, and while you can't see anything, you maybe kind of test the boundaries of your connection with him. It's something you've known your entire life, and it's telling you if he's anywhere, he's down the corridor, which is ahead of you.
We could split up. One of us could stay with...
Don't ever split the party.
No. I know. I agree.
Referring to earlier points, the 13 unaccounted for bodies. Which
Okay.
I mean, also, of course, Capella is, your ride out of here if need be.
Yeah.
I mean, like, with the power of a wish.
I mean, I guess we don't have any communication back to the future legend, do we?
No. The,
It was all a bit busy to try before,
Yeah.
but it's like...
conveniently, no.
No.
Conveniently, no.
All the mobile phone batteries have suddenly gone
Yeah.
dead.
This deep in
Network's down.
this deep in the ship, it is a little hard to broadcast outwards.
Okay, so let's just recap the situation. I've got Capella out of the water. She's not dying, but also not conscious. Can I pick her up? I mean, I am like 8 foot tall. Can I just pick her up and carry her?
I think incredibly
Maybe bash her head against a
powerful
few walls as I
with
go down.
wishes. Also a normal person when not using wishes, and you are a rather large blue humanoid.
Yeah.
So yes, you are able to carry Capella.
Okay, then
I'll be your backpack.
yeah. Get your gun out, I would say.
Okay. Got it out.
And also your spear was nearby.
Oh,
on the
good,
landing,
good.
So you
It
still
floats
have your
'cause,
spear.
Spear.
Spear by. If you
Spear.
Um,
I'm
could
juggling my spear and you.
can't make jokes if you're unconscious.
could I please take a could I have a strategy
Uh-oh.
check from the two of you?
What about me?
2.
2. That wasn't bad for one die.
Okay, well, the two of you remember, and this is a combination of, Lanette, this is your life working on ships, and Ritua, this is your knowledge as a kind of science officer.
Yeah.
Is that any ship worth its salt might have a medical bay.
Do you know that, don't you?
I also know that that's where all the bad people went.
To find the stabby equipment.
Yeah.
And Lanette, you think that a ship of this kind of size and design, it might well be on the ground, the lower deck, so it might be within reach.
Deck -3.
Okay. Well, I guess we should just go down this corridor and
We should go follow the cat.
explore.
I mean,
Yeah.
if Alice in Wonderland has taught me anything, it's follow the cat.
Well, Jason would let me know if he was in danger. If I can sort of get a grasp of where he is, he would have
You're not worried.
let me know if he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be happy with the find him there.
I'd be happier if we were close by, but I'm not getting any immediate sense of danger from him.
Okay. So let's. I say we head off down this corridor then.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
just
go.
kind of lump Capella along. Maybe accidentally bash her ankles against any sort of jaunty angled bits of
Bulkheads.
wood or doors or anything.
I love how you use your med kit and then you're like, just
Bonk.
She's not dying. It's fine.
with one hand you giveth.
Okay, well, the three of you, I guess 2
2.5.
plus 1,
1.5, yeah.
make your way along the corridor into the dark, thick air that lies ahead. Lanette, you are leading the way with your kind of head torches shining, and you know that you are now heading from the rear of the ship towards the front. So you are kind of moving towards the large, oversized nose of the ship. You can sense, Jason, it's like a little kind of beeping
Radar
in your head.
ping.
Yeah, a weird little radar ping in your in its own right. And it's leading you further along the corridor. And you see, as with the deck on the top deck, there are doors on either side leading to potentially, who knows
I'm pretty
what.
sure I probably can't use my scanner and carry my spear and carry Capella. So can I give my scanner to Lanette?
Absolutely. Yeah, and
Thank you.
and of course, with your technical prowess, you are able to run it as well.
Cool.
So remember the SOS beacon?
Oh god, yeah, that.
Yeah.
The SOS beacon that was beeping away. It is still live. It's perhaps the only thing you can really, truthfully make sense of. I mean, a thing that you were coming across earlier.
There's too much information.
Too much information. And because I'm a terrible DM, and I forgot to mention it, there is that ever-present mucus
Oh, it's still here.
It's still here.
Oh.
I'm going to say you're not out of the woods yet. So there is an element of that. You become quite familiar with it now, but you can see it kind of crusting the walls as you walk forward out of that kind of shallow pool at the back, down the dark corridor. But that beeping, that sense of an SOS beacon, you can make it out, and it leads you towards a door. And next to the door, you can see a sign with a kind of thin layer of mucus across it, which is still slightly translucent, so you can see through it the words medical bay.
We should go in.
We should, but when we read the logs, this is where everybody was taken, all the people who got ill.
Yeah, good point.
Like, so it either... Maybe it didn't start here. Like, clearly the epicenter was in the bridge. Like, that's where the fetus blobs and the zombies were. So it maybe they escaped from here and they weren't here. Like, they've left. Or maybe they're still in there and it's full of ick.
Yeah. Chances are if there's mucus across the door, nothing's come in or out. It's probably still in there. I wonder, I'd like to try and get some lights on. Should I try and find some sort of control panel that I can boot something up?
Yeah, I mean, like, you have hacked some doors before. So you go to look at the little control panel to the side of the door. And to your surprise, you see that it's on. Because you've come across doors before which have been kind of shut.
There wasn't much power.
No, that's the thing. That's something you've noticed before. There was like maybe the dullest spark that you could kind of...
Just trigger it.
Yeah, like, you know, those doors had kind of like shut. There was no signal. And then they kind of snarled with that same ever-present mucus, which is kind of like encrusting all systems. But oddly enough, while there is, of course, a layer of mucus across the doors, not especially thick, the door itself is on and shut. So there is a signal, kind of like running on reserve power, but somebody or something...
Somebody's locked this door.
Someone has locked the door.
And have they locked themselves in to keep themselves safe, or have they locked it
to
trap something in?
Is there an intercom system of any kind? Can we transmit? Can we transmit a voice into the medbay?
Or if not, can we just shout?
Yeah. Oh, can we just shout? Like, then maybe we should try that first.
No, I'm afraid not.
And just bang on the door. See what happens. See if anything bangs back. You banged back last time.
Let's do that. Let's bang on the door.
I like all the sound effects provided by Nich.
I swear there'll be something for you.
Don't worry, I'm enjoying it. It's cool.
You hear nothing.
Okay.
But the SOS signal is indeed coming from in this room.
Well, it does sound like someone's trapped themselves in. Well, I think it's
unlikely that it's like sterile in there. It's unlikely that it's the one last mucus-free bit that we will... Because like even one of the Eva pods had stuff in it. Like the suits we're wearing were sealed away, and I feel like these are the only clean things left in the entire ship.
Yeah, but the one that had the Eva tube that had a zombie in it, for lack of a better word, you know, the other three were clean. Yeah. But it looks like something, the infected body had gone in that one, and then the mucus had built up inside it. So.
But I say, of all places on the ship, the place that's not going to be clean of it is the medbay.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be like breaking a seal here if we crack open this door.
Could I take another look around, just see if there are any other doors or anything of interest?
No, I mean, as with all the corridors, there's a degree of similarity between all of them. There are doors at the sides leading off to other rooms. They look no more inviting than some of the other rooms you've tried.
I think we've just got to go in.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, this door actually had power going to it. So, I mean, you have a couple of options, as you've seen before. I mean, you've forced doors open that have been unresponsive. You've hacked doors that have been unresponsive. But like I said, this one does appear to actually have some power.
Okay. Well, I think we should open it. And if we don't like what we see, we'll close it again.
Okay.
And we'll run away.
Okay, so Lanette, I mean, you are the most qualified to do this, and your hands are free.
Yeah.
So you go to work on the door, and it requires next to no effort to unlock it
Okay.
and press open.
Okay, I do
Hey,
that.
yeah.
There is a brief crunching noise, because even though the door is powered, it does have a thin layer of mucus. So there's a brief kind of cracking noise, a bit like ice, or walking across a lake. And it kind of falters for a second. There's a sound of straining servos, and then and the door jerks suddenly, cracking the mucus. And instantly, you're greeted by a blue light, a low blue glow coming from in the room. The doors falter and then open and slowly creaking, kind of screeching, open. It's quite noisy. Looking in, you see, and there is a sudden kind of gust of air coming out. And even though you're in your Eva suits, you can sense the difference between the air that's coming out and the air you've been wallowing in. It seems clean and cooler.
Whoops.
But in front of you is a kind of tent-like structure over the inside of the door, creating a brief, not brief, wrong word, a small kind of porch or alcove, but made out of stretched canvas and sheets.
They set up a quarantine. Okay.
So it's big enough where the three of you could step into that kind of little covered area if you so wished.
Sounds
Is
like
it-
a good idea. It might
Is it
disinfect us.
is it a decontamination chamber?
Yeah.
Like, is it?
Well,
would I recognise?
You are the
decontamination?
scientist. What do you think this looks like as a scientist?
I mean, it sounds to me like they tried to set up quarantine, and this is what you do across the door of a quarantine zone is you set up decontamination. Blue light is UV, kills off bacteria and stuff. So, yeah, I'd say this is probably a decon chamber.
Do you want
And
to?
I feel I want to be deconned.
So would you
Yes.
like to go in? And do you want to shut the door behind you?
Yes.
It's marvellous. Which you do. Okay, so now the three of you are standing in what feels like a rather cosy shower cubicle, in so much as there are like shower curtain-like bits of fabric all around you. And you get the impression it's been maybe kind of jerry-rigged together with bits of tape and nails, but with the door now sealed behind you, you think there's a very good chance that this is as close to an airlock as you might get. And, incredibly, as the door shuts behind you, you see that there is writing on the door. And someone has written, using simply a pen, pull blue if able and in your right mind. And you see that there is a blue handle on a rope hanging above you.
I think we're in our right mind.
I feel reasonably able.
I mean, Capella, not
No,
so much,
yeah.
but I think we can speak for Capella, and I think we should pull the blue handle.
I pull the blue lever.
Okay. Instantly, a liquid sprays down from the ceiling. You are all wearing your suits, so again, it doesn't get on you or in, but you can see it's vaguely pink, and it kind of showers down from you can see it now, a jerry-rigged kind of shower head as a little reserve of liquid sluices down all over your bodies to the point where you are drenched from head to toe. And there's a little grill in the bottom where it drains away.
Cool.
And you can see to one side there is a zip in the fabric, if you would like.
I think we feel clean now.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this place. This place is clean.
good.
I want to stay here.
Forever.
Let's unzip.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Okay, so you step through, and it's a bit awkward because it's always awkward, certainly in your bulky suits, but you do your best not to tear the fabric, and you make your way into what is indeed the medical facility. And you can see, and it is such a treat for your eyes compared to everything you've gone through so far, it looks relatively normal. And also, it's mucus-free,
Yay.
which is quite incredible. You've not come across anything like this so far. You can see that it's a fairly large room. It's maybe been adapted from what would have been like 3 cabins or so before.
Okay.
Single floor. No, it is an official.
Oh,
med
okay,
lab,
yeah.
But the ship itself could have been customised from the point of sale or the point of construction. So it's a relatively long room, and you can see that there are little small partitions between different segments. So while it is open plan, there is almost like wards, like with little beds. You can see that looking along the length, you see, just like any kind of science lab you might be familiar with, there are drawers and cupboards and, bottles and units and that kind of thing. And there are beds, or kind of futuristic beds for containing people who are ill or in a life-threatening condition. And these look typically sci-fi, where they have a bed unit and then kind of concentric rings over to scan, analyze, and protect the person, and maybe even to generate a kind of hermetically sealed force field around people.
Are any of the beds occupied?
Immediately looking ahead of you, no, they are not.
In which case, I would like to drop Capella on one of the unoccupied beds.
Much better.
And of course, this is child's play for you. And everything is running on a kind of minimal power. So it's still on, but if it were a computer, you'd get the impression it had been put into like hibernate mode or kind of like sleep mode.
Yeah.
So there is like this blue light, which is illuminating everything, but it's not especially bright, but it's coming from like the underside of units on the wall, that kind of thing, and from little kind of patches on the floor to keep everything illuminated. Still, it's very welcome.
Okay. Cool.
So you put Capella into one of these beds and you set it to, I don't know, the equivalent of like a stabilize, heal, improve.
I mean, whatever the obvious button is.
Hangover.
Yeah.
Quick kind of health check. So it says,
Ritual, have your scanner back.
Oh, thank you.
Marvellous. So it says it will take just 10 minutes or so to restore you to a state of, well, I don't want to say like full health because you are a
I'll just put it on a basic like
addict.
wash and tumble dry kind of setting.
Basically, yes. So I'm going to say that the hospital area is kind of broken up into 3 wards, for lack of a better word. So there's one long corridor bit stretching along all 3, but then these like little partition areas kind of divvy up. So you're in number 1, and you can see down the corridor to number 3, but you won't be able to see into each ward until you've walked along.
Okay. You go find your cat, I guess. I'll get this reprobate back into some sort of consciousness.
Yeah. That's my aim. I'll have a good look around there because it might be something I can grab and keep. So yeah, have a good look.
Yeah, I mean, like if you were ever looking for medical help yourselves, or things. To patch
I'll probably at least refill my med kit.
Fine,
if I possibly
we can take
from
that back
here.
up to 5. And you know what? I don't think it's unreasonable to say that the 2 of you can go back up to full health.
Ooh, lovely.
Simply by taking a moment to patch yourself up and like little anaesthetic spray and painkillers and the like.
Green herbs.
Green herbs, yes. Okay, so what's just to clarify, what are you all doing? Sorry, obviously Nick is very nearly back.
I'm sleeping.
Very nearly back on his feet.
Well, I would like to just very carefully walk along the corridor, being very careful not to just walk out into a room, but sort of with my back against the wall, skirt around, just peek around the corner into the second.
Okay, so yes, cautiously, maybe with your gun ready, you poke your head into the second ward, where you can see there are 3 beds laid out. Each of them has a person in.
I'm going to shoot them all.
However, they are not moving, and you can see that they have been put in a kind of stasis, as in the bed has been just sealed them away and preserved them. They are all deceased.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
But however, they have, you can instantly tell that they have perhaps not died of the same causes as the zombies you've seen. You cannot see any obvious signs of infection. But sadly, they are all deceased.
Okay.
So I think you can check off 3 more people from
10 more humans.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'll go and tell you about what I've seen. Is there some sort of computer system that I can patch into that might have some records?
Yeah, in fact, it's something as simple as the equivalent of like an iPad / with a kind of doctor's checklist kind of thing, and it simply says that it is just notes on the status of the 3 people, and it basically says conditions, crew members deemed to be in life-threatening state. Their condition has been stabilised and has been put into stasis in the hope of eventual rescue.
Okay. So it sounds like these people were in dire straits, really. It's like, I'm going to lock them away and hope they make it.
But the stasis also failed, presumably because the power failed.
Yeah.
Well, you can. So one thing I will say is you can tell that there is enough power running this hospital. However, you don't know quite how long they've been here, and maybe help didn't get here quick enough to.
Just didn't work.
So their bodies are continually being preserved, as it were, but their injuries weren't treated in time.
Okay. Well, that's sad.
It is. This is all getting very depressing. Can we find some happy drugs around here?
Yeah, let's all get high on medication. Okay. Is there anything you would like to do?
I think I'll have a good rummage through some cupboards, see if there's anything exciting that I can.
Where are you rummaging? Because you've only actually looked in 2 of the 3.
I'll stick to the same ward that Capella's being revived in. I'll just have a good look through drawers. I mean,
on the grounds that your patient, you want to kind of be near them.
I want to slap her when she wakes up.
Okay, fair. Yeah. So we'll just say that you're just kind of browsing at the moment. Lanette.
There's probably going to be something really horrible in the 3rd ward, but I will very cautiously approach. First of all, listening before looking. If I hear something, I'm not going to look.